What's up, guys? This is Rick from DFSOnDemand.com, and this is your Valero Texas Open preview. All right, the Valero Texas Open. This is a really interesting tournament. It's going to be a very difficult tournament, a very difficult course. This is not going to be 20 under par winning this. This course is going to set up to be a challenge for these players. And the course that I'm referring to is TPC San Antonio, where this tournament has been held since 2010. So that's 6 years of course history that we have to look at. It's playing slightly over 7,400 yards, and it's a par 72. Obviously, being a long hitter is going to be helpful here. That's a pretty long course. Jimmy Walker, your defending champion, which should be no surprise because Jimmy Walker just is like the best golfer in the world when it comes to playing in Texas. And a really interesting stat that I have for you, and this is from our friends over at futureoffantasy.com. They noted that the 5-year average for players in this tournament to go for the green in 2 is only 29%. The rest of the PGA schedule plays around 50%, which means the par 5s on this course are true 3-shot par 5s. So guys who can hit their wedges close to the pin are going to be very valuable this week because a lot of guys are going to be hitting wedges into par 5s, especially because they're expecting windy, wet conditions this week. There's rain in the forecast, so there might be less roll on those fairways, so hitting the ball far is going to be a premium, but also being able to stick your wedges close is going to be valuable as well. One of the first guys I want to talk about is someone who we have talked about quite a bit this season, and it's Charley Hoffman. Hoffman has been a very valuable player in fantasy golf this year, but he has been a very disappointing golfer in fantasy golf this year. He has made 8 straight cuts. He's playing well. He's having a great season, but he has started every tournament very strong and has just faltered down the finish. He just stumbled in the final 2 rounds. He's been terrible on the weekends this year. I actually want to show you a stat here, or his last couple of tournaments. What you're looking at here is the last 6 events for Charley Hoffman on tour. I'm going to throw out the one in the middle there. That's the match play, and just look at his most recent stroke play events. You can see that after when they make the cut, so after Friday, Charley Hoffman has been in the top 5 in 3 of his last 5 events. He's been in the top 15 in 4 of them, and yet his best finish has been a tie for 11th. You can see he's just completely faltered on the weekends. He's been terrible. He hasn't shot anything better than a 74 on Sunday, and it's just been really remarkable how he's fallen down on the weekends. Even with those concerns, I think Hoffman makes for a solid play again. His last 5 trips to the Valero Texas Open, T11, T11, T3, T13, T2. It doesn't get much better than that. In fact, I don't think it gets any better than that. I don't think there's anybody in the field who can match the last 5 years that Charley Hoffman has had. So you just hope he can finally hang on and win one of these things, but I'll be rostering him again. Okay, next let's talk about Daniel Summerhays, who checks in at $8,300, having an all-around solid season on tour this year. He's made 10 out of 13 cuts, but he has produced some serious magic here at the Texas Open over the last 3 seasons. T4, T2, and T7 the last 3 years. He's probably the only guy who can rival Charley Hoffman in terms of recent course history. And what I've noticed is his recent form hasn't really mattered at all when he comes to the Valero Texas Open. He has bookended this tournament with cuts in the past. He has been cut right before. He's been cut right after. But he still ends up producing when he steps out there at TPC San Antonio. So I think he makes for a really interesting play. I think it's worth noting that he did shoot a 69 on Sunday last year, which was the 2nd best round of the day. So that's a little bit of opposite from Charley Hoffman, where you look at Daniel Summerhays as a guy who can maybe go low on a Sunday and sneak out a win or backdoor a win, so to speak, as opposed to Charley Hoffman, who certainly it looks like he's going to be need to be in the lead and try to hold on to it down the stretch. And then finally, Brendan Steele, I think, is a really interesting play for this week. He's $8,800, which is kind of that high to mid tier of players. There's a lot of players in that range. He's going to be underowned. He has missed 2 straight cuts. The average fan is going to come in and say, I'm not taking a guy who's missed 2 straight cuts. So I think his ownership is going to be dismal this week. If you're looking for a GPP play, I think Steele is your guy. 8 out of 12 cuts made this year. He's got 4 top 25s this season. He's having a good year. We talked about the rain and the wind that is going to be in play for this week in Texas. Well, Brendan Steele is 15th in total driving. This guy can hit it a long way. He can hit a lot of fairways. I think that's going to make him a sneaky little sleeper for this week. And he's had really good runs here in the past. 3 out of the last 5 years has produced 3 top 8s, including a win. So he knows what it's like to win an event, specifically this event. He has the skill set to be really good here, being able to hit the ball far and straight. And I think he's just going to be one of these guys who, his ownership is going to be so low. If he goes out and wins this thing or top 10s it, it's going to vault you up a lot of GPP leaderboards. All right, that's it for this week. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed this, just click that thumbs up button, and I'll keep making these. So I know that you like them, and I'll keep pumping them out as much as possible. All right, good luck this week. See ya.